Welcome or welcome back, whichever happens to apply to you. We're recording this just hours away from Snowmageddon. So last time, in addition to everything else we've been working on, we've been focusing on slow controlled descents in an attempt to reduce touchdowns. We also started working on a shoulder press motion. So last time we had over 250 seconds of airtime, and we managed to cut the touchdowns in half from 8 down to 4. So let me get big for a moment, and then we'll get to it. So as a disclaimer, I will say I do like consistent layouts, but on this one I don't think that's really going to be possible. I was zoomed in too far. And a lot of that's because I try to avoid catching other people on video. And you'll also notice that the camera might kind of shake around a little bit. Off to the left of the frame, there's a gym bro that's dropping his weights over and over again. So as far as the focus for this time, it's roughly the same as last time. I'm still working on controlled descents and trying to see if I can get any more shoulder press motion. So let's get to it. So you can't see it because of the framing, but I've got the typical bar with the weights up there to catch my feet so I don't flip all the way over. So attempt number 1, let's get to it. And that L-sit up to that looks a lot smoother. We've got some pretty good shoulder press motion. And again, wasn't super slow, but controlled enough that I didn't touch the ground. Going back up again. And then tucking the rings against my shoulders. Again, I've said this before, you notice my hands kind of quit shaking when I do that. It's almost like I'm resting. And had them tucked before I even went up. That's usually my default when I get very tired. That was a good, slow, controlled descent. And some baby iron crosses. I could be wrong, but I feel like those are getting a little bit wider. I mean, obviously we're not at like Olympic gymnast level yet, and very well may never be. Okay, and that's it for that one. So if we go to the scoreboard, we can add 60.2 seconds in the air and 0 touchdowns. Okay, so we moved the camera a bit. So attempt number 2, let's go. Starting with an L-sit. Again, I like that it can slowly go out to that. And I feel like my perception of when to extend my legs as I go up into a handstand is getting a lot better. Because if you extend them too early, you just fall back down. Up we go again. Yes. A little bit of shoulder press motion. And the rings are actually not tucked under my shoulders a lot. I'm kind of beside it, which in and of itself is pretty rough. Oh. And we were a little quick on that one. We just kind of sat down on my head. So that's it for that one. And if we go to the scoreboard, we've got 50.4 seconds in the air and 0 touchdowns. Okay, attempt number 3. Let's go. So I'm trying to get up without sinking down. Again, that's at this point, it's more of a first and second attempt kind of thing, but we'll try it on the third anyway. That's a lot of swinging we got going on. Well, we mitigate some of it when we get up to the bar. A little bit of shoulder press action. And much like figuring out when to extend my legs, I think my perception of when to fold them back up as I'm coming down is getting a lot better too. Some more baby iron crosses. Can he do it? Probably not. No, he cannot. So if we go to the scoreboard, that's 54.9 seconds in the air and no touchdowns. So on to the next one. All right, 4th attempt. Watch me go. We have liftoff. And we're upside down. A little bit of shoulder press action. That second one was kind of weird. And a touchdown. And another touchdown. And Jim Bro dropping his weight. It's a matter of personal opinion, but I think it's a little more impressive if you can set the weights down gently and quietly. But, you know, you do you. And again, when I get really tired, when I go up to a handstand, I've got the rings tucked up against my shoulders. It just makes it that much easier. Kind of hanging out there for a bit. As you can see from the look on my face, I'm about exhausted. Okay, and that's it for that one. And if we go off to the scoreboard, that's 60.7 seconds in the air and 2 touchdowns. So on to the last one. Okay, 5th and final attempt of the day. See what we can do. And we're going for press motion even on the last one. Pretty good slow controlled descent. Jim Bro dropping weights. A little bit more press action. It's not much, but it's something, I guess. Another slow controlled descent. I've said it before, it amazes me that I'm even able to do this well on the 4th and 5th attempts. This doesn't totally fall apart. And we buckle. Okay, so if we go off to the scoreboard, that gives us 57.8 seconds and 0 touchdowns. So for the day, we have a grand total of 284 seconds in the air and 2 touchdowns. Okay, what time is it? It's hopeless optimism time. So some takeaways. It's still looking even better. I got a personal record yet again, and we are dangerously close to 5 minutes of airtime for a single day. We're over 30 minutes in total across these 11 days, and we also managed to cut touchdowns in half again. So we went from 4 down to 2. We also got more shoulder press motion. Now, as usual, I think it needs more work, and I'll be back another day to give it some more work. But for today, that's it. Feel free to check back in or not. Up to you.